My name's Cora Keene.
And I'm Kiara.
And this is Matt Keene. And welcome to Creating a Future We Want, our learning series. We're doing a project called What is a Garden? 30 Days of Adaptive Action. And what are the 3 questions, Kiara?
What, so what, and now what?
And
in the adaptive action cycle.
And we're in our garden here. It's pretty sunny, so we had to stick up the umbrella.
And today is day 30 of 30 days.
It's the final day.
Yay!
Final day. Last day. So we'll say our goodbyes at the end.
I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, gals, for that introduction. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I'd be curious, just right off the bat, is there anything that you were wondering about this 30 out of 30 days, this day's conversation?
What is it? What's the question? I guess.
All right. Yeah, that's a good. We bring a new sort of topic or theme or a new question each day to this big question of what is a garden. So we've been investigating that question with, as they said, adaptive action. And adaptive action is a very powerful approach to engaging with honestly the most important questions. And the most important questions, so many of them, will not have a single answer, right? We're not going to get to the end of these 30 days and then voila, have the perfect answer, the definition of what is a garden. That wasn't what we were trying to do. And certainly we realized there's just no such thing. What is life? Who am I? What is my purpose? What is our purpose? These are all these kind of wicked questions, and to deal with wicked questions, we need to, have. Just because there's no set answer, doesn't mean that it's something that we just ignore and set aside. Just because the answer is going to involve so much complexity, so many things as diverse and divergent as our emotions, the way we sense reality. These sorts of questions and topics that are like the essence of our well-being, being able to create a future we want. We need to take purposeful, intentional approaches to grappling with them. Not all the time, not every day, not every time we talk about these things, but we need to make it more of a habit than we do. How about that? So, here we are. What is a garden? I think the question today that we're bringing to our understanding of a garden is, what are we learning? What are we learning? And that is, right, our learning series. We're homeschooling. I've talked a lot. And these gals had out their garden journals. So I'm curious, what did you share, or what did you jot down, or what some thoughts or drawings about what are we learning?
Okay.
Who's first? Okay, go for it, Cora.
Okay.
Let's hear something. I got you.
So I've made a tree of life. So a little frog catching a fly, and here is like a bird flying to its baby to give it a worm, and a lizard and a squirrel and a deer. A llama. I don't know why I put a llama, but we're learning about life and nature and all animals and trees, and yeah.
Yeah. In a study of Spanish, right now we are the Spanish language primarily, but we work with a beautiful person named Mari in Cusco, Peru, and they are working through right now wildlife and ecology of Peru. So llama in our garden. Okay, so how about you, Kiara? What are we learning?
Let's see. we are learning about plants and how to take care of a garden, how to plant the seeds in the soil and take care of them, water them, add fertilizer and stuff. And we're learning about each other. We're learning about conversation, conversing together and talking. We're learning about patterns and life and non-life and nature. And we're also learning about how to, like, making videos and posting them.
Yeah, I mean, some of the most practical stuff is, we need to attend to that. That's terrific. What a list. That's amazing. Okay. Cora, I would like to ask you, in your drawing here of the tree with a lizard and a frog and a bird and a llama, what is the relationship, the connection between this tree and this, all of what's going on here, and all of this growing, and all of this life, and all of this maybe non-life, maybe soil, air, whatever, the microbes, all the things that I can imagine being here, in the sun and the air and the wind and the color? What is a relationship between this and what we are learning about what is a garden? What inspired you about our learning to draw a tree?
Well,
and all of its life?
At first I saw our huge, is it oak over there? I saw that from our dad's porch, and I saw like it was like curving shape, so I made like the curving shape on. I just made a tree, then I figured out maybe I should put some animals and make it into nature, and like so many things living and growing.
Kiara, is there anything that that you notice about this in the context of what are we learning? Anything you notice, or anything that surprises you or interests you?
Well, I like how the tree is curving, goes like from the base and then it curves around, and then there's some branches. I think that's pretty cool. And that the animals they're all over the tree. Little bird, mama bird, frog and lizard and squirrel, all on the tree at once. And the leaves and the bark and the trunk and the sunlight.
So, for me, I hear you saying all this, and all of this is the garden.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see a lot of llamas. This is the first one, I think. But I am curious, if you said we're learning about patterns, Kiara, and we're learning about, what's one of the other things you said we were learning about?
Nature,
life.
non-life.
What is a similarity between learning about, or what's the connection between learning about patterns and life, or patterns and the garden?
Well, they're related. The garden and patterns. There are patterns in the garden.
Could you? Is there an example that comes to mind looking around?
The veins on a leaf, or the veins on a leaf, or the amount of leaves on a stem. The garden beds, like we have the grass, the garden beds, and the grass, and the garden bed.
I'm curious that over the course of this time, so what changes, would you say, Cora? So what changes, or what changed in what we were learning? Like, were we learning one thing at the beginning and something else later, or how you learned? Was there something that changed in how you were learning?
Not really.
How about you, Kiara?
Well, something that changed in the way I was learning.
How did it change over time?
Well, we started like relating a lot of things to the garden, and like we used to just talk about school, like as school, but now we relate things to the garden. We're talking about the garden as we're talking about school, sort of.
That's beautiful, right? You're saying the relationship between our time with the garden and, for instance, our time doing other school, like our math or our, our history conversations, the garden comes up. Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Let's see. So what is our reason for learning about the garden, or learning about what is a garden? So what reason do we have to learn about the garden? Anybody?
Let's see. We're learning to understand nature and understand the garden, and so we can think about the garden in other ways than just a place where we can grow things, maybe. Like we can think about it as an ecosystem, as a habitat. We can think of it as a place where we can grow food. Think of it, yeah.
Cora, would there be any reason to think about your bedroom as a garden? Like, to think about, what I'm wondering is there a use for learning to think about a garden in other places? Maybe just in your life or in your writing. You're writing a beautiful story right now. Is there any benefit to thinking about a garden, like the life and the relationships and the patterns we were just talking about in the stories you're writing? Is there, and Cora or Kiara, is there an example you give about how some aspect of your writing is somehow like the garden?
Well, it can be creative because the garden is creative.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the garden is creative. It creates all these amazing plants and little creatures.
How about this? Is there any relationship between the way we organize the garden and the way we organize our schoolwork?
Oh yeah. So, well, we write down like lists of what to do every day with our schoolwork, and then we also write down lists of what plants we want to plant, or what plants are growing where, or like the beds, they're in neat rows, and our writing we put in neat rows or columns.
Yeah. Cora, what do you want to learn next, lady? What do you want to learn next? In our schooling, in anything we do. You can choose anything. How about you, Kiara? Cora, think about it, sugar. Wake up. So what do you want to learn next, Kiara?
Let's see. I would like to learn how to make, or how other people make their gardens in other places. Like if people have gardens like in the desert or in the rainforest, or, I don't know, how people grow their gardens in different habitats, different types of places, and different weather.
Okay. How about you, Cora?
Something to learn how to take care of an animal.
Oh, okay. What kind of animal would you really like to know how to care for? Like, to really honor its well-being? What animal?
A cat.
A cat? Do you mean like a domesticated cat or like a panther? Tiger.
A regular cat, because I know I can't have a tiger.
Right, not right away. Okay. Love you all. Thank you, darlings. Been a pleasure. This was day 30 of What is a Garden? 30 days of adaptive action. We'll probably do a few more because we've got a few more little projects. We want to capture some art projects that we did.
They'll be like 30 and a half.
30.5.
30.25 or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be developing all of these into a series of 10 lesson plans. So about 10 days of adaptive action about what is a garden. So we'll be working on that. You'll hear from us. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
Toodles. Ciao, ciao.